Welcome back to Teleglitch. We're at level 6B, and this is the perfect level to break out the SMG. Like that. There are a lot of enemies that are dangerous but not armored. Earlier my plan was to just make the SMG at the end of level 5, but there were a couple of earlier instances where it turned out to be handy. The main reason I got the SMG wasn't for the guards, though. Oh, wow, okay. Didn't expect to run into this many supply boxes so early. I'm running into an unexpected problem, though. These medkits are taking up a lot of my item spaces. Woe is me. Oh yeah, these guys. I happen to use the wrong weapon here. What you just saw was a new kind of giant zombie. They are much more predictable, they're a bit slower, but they carry machine guns, so I'd say that overall they're more dangerous. What I'm looking at here is a turret, which I'll explain in depth a bit later. The main thing about this case was that it was really awkward, their range is very long, and oh wow, okay, that's not good. This is where the 6-trigger revolver comes in most useful. It'll put down one of those zombies in one burst, and since they shoot at you, I can't really afford to let them live for very long. Well, that kinda solved my medkit problem, at least. So, one of the things I picked up was a laser gun, which has an easy modification so that it can fire longer before reloading. Laser gun is great. Does lots of damage, cuts through armor like it's not there. But I'm not going to use it this level. I want to save it for later. And when you see what's in this level, you might think that's insanity. I hope you'll take my word for it that I have a good reason for doing this. Machine gun zombies have changed from the original to Die More Edition. Used to be they weren't introduced until level 8 or 9. However, their machine guns were a lot more dangerous there. Fired more like, well, miniguns. This game? They shoot less and they're less accurate. However, they're introduced earlier and there are a lot more of them. These are swarm bots. The sort of upgrade to those zombie tubes. Work more or less the same way. They move slower, they're more predictable, and they die to one adhesive grenade. Doesn't even matter if it's a direct hit. The downsides? They have light armor, and one hit from a swarm robot hurts a lot more than a zombie punch. Takes off a lot of your armor, too. The other piece of equipment I got was a high-velocity rifle. That's right, HV doesn't stand for heavy, high velocity. Combine it with hardware for an easy modification to a high-velocity machine gun. That's also not something I'm going to use much, because ammo for it is extremely scarce right now. What I'm fighting right now is more of those turrets. Turrets are more or less unchanged between games. They have light armor, they shoot from very long range, but they don't hit too hard if you have armor. And they rotate pretty slowly, so if you're positioned correctly, you can run around them and shoot them while they're turning. The problem is that with the new level design, they're positioned a lot better, so you often have no choice but to fight them at long range. At that point, I think the only way to deal with them cleanly is with a heavy rifle. Now, last time I explained a bit about armor, how there are 3 kinds, but not really the implications of this. Light armor, the kind that you have, is great against shotguns and pistols, but not as great against heavier stuff. Enemy light armor works the same way. For medium armor, anything that's not specialized, like the assault rifle or grenade launcher, is extremely reduced. You can still deal some damage, but it's not recommended. Heavy armor, forget it. You need something like the heavy rifle or high velocity guns or explosives. The way I usually handle it is medium and heavy armor are treated more or less the same way. I use my best armor piercing stuff against both of them. Mostly because I just find that using lighter stuff it takes too long and it's a waste of ammo. Oh, yeah. That room, green light. It's a boss room. So let's make that stimulant. Get our weapons in order. Well, my weapons. Take a deep breath. First time I played the game, that sound made me jump a mile. Also, I completely deserved to miss that second rocket. That was way off. So, explosions work pretty well against this guy, because you throw it, and the boss will just move forward, sort of dragging it along with him. Main thing is, you have to be moving pretty fast, because if you get caught in that burst of dual machine gun fire, I think you can guess at what happened. I got caught right at the edge of it, and I took a whole bunch of damage. The good news is that explosions will stop it from firing. And because I missed my second rocket, I have to burn some of my armor-piercing ammo more or earlier than I wanted to. So, sigh of relief. I could have died pretty easily there, but that's not how it worked out. So, I need to work out what to do with these empty cans. They take up more space than I want now. And I'm not sure that I can afford to make more armor-piercing rockets. I do have a solution for this, but I'll have to wait until later. For now, the level is pretty much done. The boss room is always guarding the way out. And aside from a couple of machine gun zombies at the start, I actually didn't take too much damage. I expected to lose most or even all of my armor at some point. But now I have a couple of spare plates, which is a very unusual situation for me. This is kind of an awkward part of the game because you have more weapons and supplies that are taking up inventory space than in the early game, but there are still some crafting projects to work out, so those take a lot of inventory space as well. So this is probably the biggest pinch for space at any point in the game. Yep, that's the entire level. All that's left is some backtracking, which I will skip right away. Time to move on. I'm not looking forward to the next level. That introduces a lot of new and interesting stuff at a distance. I'm gonna need that laser gun. So, another deep breath, and dive in. See you next time.